I like to think that a business I envision like a business kind of in a wilderness setting. Okay. And just like any person might be, but they're like a collection. Like imagine that you take like a group of people and plop them in the wilderness, right? They have a idea of where they want to get to and a set of things on them like resource, like tools maybe and assets like food and beverages and maybe different skill sets. Maybe this guy can hunt and maybe this person is really good at gathering food and whatever. So they have these different sets of things, right? When a business is like pictured in that setting and they do something that creates value for people, right? And then they capture some value through that process. So they like get paid for it. And then they put that back into their operations in some way to do what they need to do to create more value for people. Okay. So it's like create value, capture value, deliver value, do stuff for people that makes them want to work with you, get stuff from them like money or other capital sources that you use to grow and fuel your operations so that you can do more stuff for people, right? That becomes this like cycle. This becomes this like you boom, boom, boom. That's what basically all business really is. It's just doing those things over and over. So when you think about in the future, like your vision of like, what do you want to, it's like, well, I look at three things. What impact do you want to have on people and who are those people? Right? What do you want to collect and grow? What's the vision for yourself? What do you want to become? And what do you want to do? What do you want your operations to be? So it's like when I think of business, it's who are all the people and what happens to them? What do you have and what stuff really? What do you make up and what do you do? What do you do with your time? That's my kind of like best concept at like what is a business to me. And it's going through that process. A lot of businesses, and this is like a big thing, they'll have like a vision and they'll say, we want to get, it's kind of can be very isolated. It can be, we want to get to $10 million in annual revenue, right? And maybe they'll have a picture in their mind of how they're going to do that. They're going to bring together these different types of people and they're going to play some role in that process, right? But if they're not intentional about how they're going to do what they do so that they're putting the resources that they get into that with intention, it's kind of like making progress toward their goal, but in a way that they didn't intend it to. So when they get there, they look very different than they thought they were going to look at that point, right? They're like, well, we got the 10 million revenue, but we're not strategically in the place we want to get to because the business isn't organized at all how we expected it to be. And we're maybe don't really know what our values are, what's important to us and how we want to prioritize things. And maybe we're serving this whole other customer base than we had intended to serve. And we kind of followed the money to get to this place. But now, now it's like this segment of the audience instead of this other one. So it's like, it's a kind of listening and action exercise. It's like, wait, as you make your way through the forest to your goal, it's like be aware of your surroundings, but then also be intentional about where you wanted to get to and how you wanted to get there so that you can keep that path intact, right? It's okay to kind of stray, but you want to come back and then make your way.